Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track. But we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag.
What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey man, it's been a long-standing rumor that Jay Z owns some of Nas's publishing and that he didn't get paid off of sampling his voice on Dead Presidents. And he said that he paid MC Serch, his company Serchlight Publishing. I know who I paid, dog. Serchlight Publishing. Well, in a recent interview on Math Hoffa's podcast, My Expert Opinion, MC Serch laid all that to rest. Now, MC Serch has probably talked about this in the past. I think he spoke on it on Drink Champs and a couple other interviews. But the thing about the technical side of music and the business, the information always gets lost in translation. So you could talk about it once and then 2 years later, 3 years later, that fact gets completely lost, and you got to keep reminding people that the dominant narrative that you thought you knew is not actually the truth. I told y'all the truth years ago. Y'all forgot about it. Y'all watched the video, y'all learned about it, and then you forgot about it all over again. But I'm gonna keep reminding y'all. So in the interview, he basically says that he was the publishing administrator for Nas's music, right? So MC Serch played a hand in discovering Nas, getting him to Sony Columbia, which was originally Columbia till they merged with Sony later on in his career. And he says that Jay Z was literally just talking shit on Takeover. It's not nothing more or less to be dissected. He was just trying to get under his skin, and he knew that he could sway the public opinion to look at Nas a certain way if he insulted his intelligence in that fashion. But MC Serch says that he was actually the person that brokered the deal and that Nas owns 50% of that record. Now, for those of y'all that may actually partake in music, you had to do negotiations for publishing splits. That is a hefty amount of publishing, especially when your voice is just sampled on the record. It's not the sample composition that's underlying through the whole song. The piano, dun, dun, dun. That's a totally different sample in itself. Jay Z wrote his own lyrics, so he has to own a portion of that publishing. Not to mention the actual producer, who I believe was Ski Beats, who also has to own a portion of the publishing. So if Nas off top took 50%, that means that the other 50% is split between Jay Z, the original sample, Ski Beats, and whoever else on Jay Z's side. Now, Serch also says that he gets nothing off of that. He's not an owner in Nas's original song. He is only the publishing administrator, which means that anytime somebody sampled or wanted to use something regarding Nas' voice, he only got a 5% commission. He's not the publishing owner. So it's been about 20 years we've been spreading this widespread misinformation, all out lie. You know what I'm saying? Every time you go and listen to the Blueprint, and I love the Blueprint. I love Jay Z as an artist, big inspiration. I used to try to rap like Jay. I used to try to rap like Nas too. But every time you hear Takeover and he says that, just know that that line needs to have an asterisk and an exclamation mark next to it, that this is just entertainment. MC Serch did also have a hand in Nas's publishing at one point. However, in recent years, he sold his share. Some people may wonder why he didn't sell it back to Nas. Nas didn't even want it back. And this, my friends, is exactly why having a hand in the future of music is such a crucial thing. I'm not talking to my people that are coming up right now, but this is something you may want to listen to. But I'm really looking at the elder statesmen in hip hop. We're seeing less chances being taken on talent these days, and people are being left to fend for themselves, having to try to get themselves popping on Instagram, TikTok, and get it how they live, YouTube. And although there are some marketing geniuses that have musical talent that are making their way, a lot of the more talented artists, the more classically skilled artists that you would have discovered back in the 90s, like a Mary J. Blige, a Mariah Carey, these types of artists, these once-in-a-lifetime generational talents are not being discovered at the same rate because they're probably more than likely behind when it comes to promoting themselves, because their understanding is, I'm excellent at what I do. If I'm a musician, I'm supposed to excel at creating music. However, there's so many other factors that go into, commodifying yourself that a lot of people lack. I can speak on this because I learned this from my own experience, and I had to adapt and adopt new ways of thinking and new ways of promoting myself as an artist. Because if I strictly relied on talent alone, I would have never even made it this far to be talking to y'all on YouTube or social media, however you're seeing this video. Look, man, it might be time to start taking some more chances on the youth, man, and just take a little small portion. You don't got to take advantage of nobody. You don't got to give yourself more than what you're entitled to, like taking all of the publishing. But if you got a 10%, 15% cut on some finder's fee type stuff, and you say, all right, man, after 5 years or after 10 years, it's going to revert back to you, who do you think is not going to accept those terms? It does not have to be predatory to do something in exchange for somebody else and you get a little portion. That's the same thing that these companies do. That's the same thing that happens if you have a business, if you got an ice cream shop where you make a new basketball to compete with Spalding, and Wilson comes and say, hey man, we want to buy your basketball design, but we're going to take 15% equity in your company for the next 8 years in exchange for what we give you up front. That is a good deal. And artists, y'all got to understand how this stuff works. So when somebody approaches you with that type of lingo or verbiage, you're able to understand what they're talking about. You're able to dissect it, and you're able to accept a potentially good deal, even if that means you got to give up a little bit of ownership of your creation for a set period of time. That's not always a bad thing, and that's not always trying to take advantage of you or bend you over. A lot of y'all don't be understanding business, which is why you don't excel at it in any form or fashion. All right, I'm just putting that out there. But again, at the end of the day, when you listen to Takeover and Jay Z says, I know who I paid, dog, Serchlight Publishing. No. He paid a set fee that Nas was paid for. He got 50% of the publishing on that record, and MC Serch got 5% commission off of the admin. At this point, I'm going to open the floor. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. And if this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see you guys on the next one. Wait, before I go, if you are an upcoming artist, musician, songwriter, producer, if you're trying to get into managing any one of those creatives, go to realjnolan.com, check out my book, The Pen Game Portfolio Volume 2, where you can get more educated about the inner workings of the music business from the independent standpoint. I'm not going to give you a bunch of fluff information talking about all these mainstream artists that did it, because you're probably not going to hit to that magnitude. And when you do, the information that I'm giving you at this level is going to help carry you if you do make it that far. All right? Again, I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.